Hi, family and friends. Hey, someone asked me to tell my story about the census and what happened. How did I get chosen out of 41,000 people across America as a welfare to work success story? And why am I so on fire about the census? And so I just want to take the time to tell you just a little bit about it, and hopefully it'll encourage you to respond or to apply. First, I want to say this as a disclaimer. I do work for the Census Bureau right now. I am a recruiter, but this is not just an effort to just recruit you. Hopefully, just to encourage you. Um, but let's see where we start. I didn't participate in my first census until I was 40 years old. In 1998, I was living in transitional housing that my church, Mountaintop Faith Ministries, oh God, they were a blessing. Um, they allowed me to lease a home for a fraction of the cost. So me and my four children at that time, four of my five children, lived in that transitional living house. So I was there when I applied for, and unemployed, when I applied for a job with the census. And it was, well, I applied for a census taker, numerator position, and you had to go and take a test and all that. Well, they called me, and it was, they offered me a $9 and something an hour job. It was as a crew leader assistant. I was so excited. I'm like, yes, yes, yes. And got off the phone. About 3 to 5 minutes later, I get a call back, and they changed it, and already I got a promotion out of to $11 and something an hour as a crew leader. I went from being a crew leader to being a partnership specialist and being responsible for all of the African American communities in Nevada, not just Las Vegas, but Nevada. And so the bill was the African Americans were one of the worst undercounted in the nation in the 1990 census. And here we were for the 2000 census. And guess what? Me and my four kids, we were part of that undercount because I didn't participate in the census, didn't know anything about the census until I started working for the census. And I was nearly 40 years old. And so I'll cut through all of that and tell you that. So African Americans stepped up. I was invited to Washington, D.C. to speak to all of the African American leaders in the state of Nevada, as well as Black Caucus members. And I can tell you it was amazing. And at the end of the day, Nevada was the second most improved mail out, mail back response in the nation. African Americans stood up. They understood what the census was about. And they put me in the newspaper, on television, on the radio, whatever. They said, this girl had preached the census with a gospel zeal. She'll lay a census sermon on anybody knowing it to make a difference. And you know what? I did that. You know why? Because yes, I believe in the census. I didn't even know that those funds that were cut were because we were the fastest growing. Las Vegas was the fastest growing metropolitan area in the nation. And guess what? Between being an undercounted state in the 1990 census and then being the fastest growing metropolitan area in the census 2000, guess what? There was not enough funds. There were not enough funds to keep up with it. So here me and my kids were standing in line, and guess what? Services had been cut. Funding had been cut. You know, we needed more schools, roads. I mean, all kinds of things. And let's see, census dollars go through so much congressional representation. Like I said, your schools, your roads, your hospitals, your clinics, your libraries, all your different services. And if those funds are not there, guess what? We pay the price. So if you think about it today, it's $18,000 per person missed. right? So our person counted. So that little baby that was born by April the 1st, that baby should be counted. Okay, everybody should be counted. And if they're counted, guess what? They're worth $18,000 over a 10-year period. So at least $1,800 a year. So there's $675 billion that's at stake, that it's supposed to be divided over all of the states. If your state is undercounted, you're going to miss some of those funds. So when me knowing that, how could I not preach it? So let me break it down to you. This is the reason why I didn't participate in the census before that. I didn't know. I really, and I know there's the ignorance is no excuse, but my ignorance cost. I didn't understand the importance of the census. I didn't even know about the census. So I'm going to break it down for you so maybe you'll understand. I want to bring it home. Everybody likes to eat. Most people don't fast their life. If you don't like to eat, you have to eat. And most people like tasty food. So just think about that favorite cook. Maybe it's your mother. Maybe it's your granny, your titi, your neighbor, your good friend. Maybe it's your love, and so let's just use mama. Okay. So mama loves to cook for you. She just loves it. And what she does, she loves to cook for you and your family because she loves it. And say you got boys like me, I got 4 boys and 1 girl. And and they're big eaters. Well, they were back then. But say you have these children and you have your loved one, your spouse, your boo, whoever. And so now it's you 6, your 4 kids, and your honey. All right. Now, your mama. Okay. So that's 7 folk. But she gonna cook enough for y'all to have seconds. Because she knows how those boys are. They love to eat. So she gonna cook enough for them to have seconds. And possibly thirds. But she'll cook enough for them to have seconds at least. Because she knows that you want to take some home. Because you like to take leftovers. And they like to take leftovers. So then she don't spread. So she can have enough for 25 people. Okay. So it's only the 7. So it's 3 times plus a little bit extra, right? When you get there, you guys get there to eat, y'all ready. Mouth watering, you're ready to grub. But you get there, you can't even hardly park. Because you see cars everywhere. It looks like a family reunion. Guess what? Your sister, they found out your mama was cooking. And your sister, her 10 kids collectively with her best friend, her 3 kids, and her best friend 7 kids. So there they come. Your brother with his girlfriend, her 3 kids, and his 3 kids. Okay? Your cousin done come over with their 4 kids, and then your other cousin came over with their 8 kids, and then a neighbor who grandchildren come over and visit, they came over, and you know what? They came over and then found out your mama was cooking. She'd been and invited them, but none of them showed up, and now they decide to show up on the day that it's time for y'all to eat. So what was more than enough is my point. Is what? It's not enough. Not enough. You don't get your fair share, honey. And guess what? You're lucky if you get a good plate. Because now you got all these people who didn't reserve a place at the table showing up. How does that equate to the census? When people are counted, monies are allocated for these services. Congressional representation is allocated to cover the population. But what happens when you're not counted? You lose that. Michigan lost a representative last time around. Thank God Michigan is third in the nation, honey, in self-response. And here's the important part, is that it really is nothing. That response, I'm telling you, it's less than setting up a profile. Really, it took me 5 minutes it takes some other people less than 10 minutes to do it. It really is, because it's not that many questions. They only want to know the first 4 questions. They want to know is, how many people live here? Is anybody that usually live here not here? They want to know if you own or you rent, and your phone number. Then for the first person, they just want to know your name, your date of birth, your age, your ethnicity, whether you're Hispanic or not Hispanic, and your race. That's it. Then it go to the next person. How are they related to you? What's your name? And then the same questions. And that's it. Honey, it is not hard at all. And people go, well, I don't want the federal government knowing my business. Honey, what the federal government is asking about, guess what? You already give all that to Google and more. And so I'm just telling you, family, because this is from my heart to you. I'm not just coming to you as a recruiter. I'm a recruiter, yes, but the census didn't ask me to do this. I'm doing this because, like my children, I believe doing it at home first. I wanted my children to understand the importance of the census. So when I spoke at the Al Gore Hammer Award on behalf of the census, guess what? My children were there. And they were able to, my youngest was 4 years old, and he was 3. And he actually gave a poem about the importance of the census. So start at home. Right now, most of us are at home. I'm working from home, got to work from home. And I'm just saying, don't miss out. You understand it. And the way you can participate, you can call the 800 number. The 800 number is like 844-330-2020, 844-330-2020. Or you can go to my2020census.gov, my2020census.gov, and you can do it. Like I said, it takes you less than 10 minutes, depending on how many family members you have. And also, if you want to wait and do it in the mail, snail mail, some people like to do that. You could do that too. But whatever you do it. Then they don't have to come knocking at your door. Speaking of, I cannot let this go without saying, listen, in my area, I've been recruiting people, and I can tell you that the census in my area is Ingham County, in Michigan, Ingham County. We pay $24.50 an hour. $24.50 an hour. Plus, what is the mileage? The government rate mileage, 57.5 cents a mile. Okay. Also, we pay every week. Also, we pay, after 6 o'clock in the evening, we pay 10% more. On Sundays, we pay 25% more. So just think about it. If you're making $24.50 an hour in the evening, you're going to make an additional $2.40 an hour more, almost $27 an hour. And then on Sundays, you're going to make like almost $30, a little over $30. I think after Sundays after 6 o'clock, you even make more. So be more like $33 an hour. Honey, let me tell you something. That's some good money. And it's part-time. It's flexible. You make your own schedule. You make your own schedule. We don't make your schedule. We give you the assignment. You make your schedule because you know when you are available to work. But we want the work done. Now, that's a whole nother story, y'all. You can't just sit up and don't do the work. But, so it's really great. We are still recruiting. So for people who think that we're not recruiting, we are. And if you've already applied and we haven't contacted you, don't worry about it. We still got you in the system. Everything's on hold for everybody. And they're talking about extending the time to 120 days. So we're not really sure how long the job's going to be, your area. If you have specific questions, just contact me and leave me a message, because this was really just supposed to be about my story. Okay, so my story again is that chosen out of 41,000 people across America's welfare to work success story, invited to Washington D.C. to speak before the national leaders, as well as all the African American leaders in Nevada, plus the Black Caucus members, and so to speak on the importance of the census. Then chosen to speak. There's only two keynote speakers at the Al Gore Hammer Award, and I was one of them. And so, and so I went from being homeless, transitional housing to moving in a 2,400 square foot home less than 2 years. In 1 year, I moved into the Desert Shores condominiums now, and then I moved in Desert Shores in a 2,400 square foot home in the lakes in Las Vegas. And God has been so good. And I'm just letting you know that the census does a lot of wonderful things uh, for people. And so don't get left out. Don't get left behind. I hope you enjoyed my story. Love you guys so much. You guys know that I love you so much. And I am praying for you to stay safe and healthy. I'm praying Psalms 91 over you, over your family, over your household, and all that concerns you. I love you so much. God be with you. Bye for now. Mwah.